My name is Lindiwe Manyika. I'm an associate in transformation at Deloitte. The module that I've learned a lot from is the relationship intelligence, particularly the MBTI. The MBTI has taught me about my personal preferences, and it has also enhanced my awareness around my leadership style and also around my impact to the people that I engage with, not just the people that I engage with in my team, but also the environment and the organization, but also the macro environment, and also to the community. I think I've learned a lot from this module, particularly personally and professionally. The second module that I've learned from is the decision-making process. I think I'm in a better space now where, whenever I make a decision, I think of the tools that I've learned from this program in terms of what are the consequences of my decisions, what are the things that I need to take into consideration before I can make a decision. Therefore, I'm more informed, I'm more strategic in terms of my decision making. I don't just make decisions, haphazardly. So I'm really, really passionate about the program in terms of what I've learned. What makes this program different for me is I have attended management advancement program from Wits Business School. And before I attended the program, I was very skeptical to think, what can I learn from this program? Because I also attended a lot of leadership programs at Deloitte. However, I think I was completely blown away by the program, because you don't only learn about strategic, you don't only learn about HR, but you learn about your own personal leadership. And that has made a huge difference in my life. I don't have any feedback on the program. I think one thing that I would like to say is some of the modules, there was a bit of theory, but I think what I liked about the program is that you are able to take the tools that you learn from the program, because it's very, very practical, and be able to, to use them in the corporate environment. So you're able to take the tools, they empower you to be able to use them, to enhance your leadership style and your, the way you do things in your working environment. So that's what I like about the program. The only thing that I will change is just cut down on theory and more practical exercises, and give, the participants more airtime to talk about their own personal experiences. I think that will make the program more valuable, to the delegates. Yeah, that's all I can say.
Okay, my name is Kethiwe Mhlanga. I work for Ernst & Young, and I'm one of the partners in the Africa sub-area. Which module I learned most from? For me, I think the first one was the MBTI, which gave me an awareness of who I am. And it also gave me the capabilities of understanding others. And it actually improved personal and professional relationships. And from there, the next module I think that had an impact on my learning was the decision making, which actually allows one to be able to be confident in the decisions that you are making. Because more often than not, we make decisions every day and every minute of our lives, be it personal or be it professional. Decision making is part of our lives. And for me, this aspect is crucial, because sometimes when you make decisions, you tend to doubt yourself whether that was the right decision or not. But with this course, you are actually able to reflect and see and take time to look at different options, which will then allow you to be comfortable with the decision that you are making. And then the next one, it was more on the coaching, because as leaders, if you are not really rounded or grounded, we tend to always want to come with solutions for people. And every time a person gives you a problem, already you've got a solution for the problem. So what it has taught me is to allow others to come with their own way of dealing with the problems that they have. And by doing that, it actually empowers other people, so that I can also have more time on my hands for me to be able to look at the strategic matters rather than be involved in operations. What makes this program different to others? For me, I think it is the way it has been developed. When you look at the first module, when it starts about yourself, others, and relationships, and thereafter it takes you through to decision making, and thereafter it takes you through to system thinking, and then you will go through project management. The way it has just been drafted, for me, I think it works because you can see the building blocks that will take you to the end. Also, I mean, the way the facilitators are facilitating, they have different styles of how they want to communicate the message. And what I have found is, even though their facilitation styles were different, but most of the sessions I really enjoyed, because you also learn also how to improve on your presentation skills. On the feedback on how to better the program, in my view, I think the period or the duration of the program could be increased so that we are given more time to do practical work rather than sitting and doing theory, and you have a little bit of applying what we have learned from theory. Because what I have seen is that once you have theory and you implement and it becomes practical, it then sinks in better than when you just read. So if we can have more of practical and less of theory, or if they can just increase the duration of the course, I'm sure it will add much value.
My name is Hope Ramushu. When I started the course, I was working for Sizwe and Saluva at the time. I then changed jobs during the course around June, and I went to join Rand Mutual Assurance. At the firm, I was a audit manager. I moved to Rand Mutual, and I'm a group financial manager at Rand Mutual. The one module that I actually felt that I learned the most from was the relationship intelligence module, where it also covers decision making in a complex environment. And the reason why I really like that one is it really actually made me discover who I am in terms of the relationship, where they actually told us about the different, I think they call different personalities, where they actually described me as an ESFJ, which means I'm an emotional person, sensitive, I feel and I judge. So, and that for me, it was actually a confirmation of who I am. And the one about decision making, it actually really helped me to detach myself from emotionally when I'm making business decisions. What makes this program different to the ones that I have learned is that for this one, it was easier to actually apply. It was easier to get to the office and actually try and implement what you've learned from the course. Other than the fact that there were times where I felt that, okay, perhaps the stuff that we learned, we could have actually tried to be given more practical examples, but I found that it was easier to try and implement when you actually get back to the office. Whereas the other courses that I've actually attended, I found that, okay, they would run through them so quickly that when I get back to the office, it's like, okay, what was that all about? The one thing that perhaps I think they could do to make the program a bit better is perhaps in terms of the timing, increase the timing a little bit. And I'm not sure how the others felt about, they're attending on sometimes Friday, Saturday. But I think timing-wise, that's the only thing they could try and increase a bit, because I felt that perhaps we are trying sometimes to actually squash too many topics or too many things in one weekend, and immediately felt, and immediately after that you're supposed to actually produce an assignment, and when you do the assignment, that's when you actually discover that, oops, perhaps you didn't quite understand what you were being taught in class as much as you thought you did. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Jeshla Mistry. I work for PwC, partner director at PwC currently. If you're going to ask me about which module I learned the most from, it's probably, I can't say particularly one, but the one that stands out the most, or I can remember the most about, is system thinking and strategic planning, strategic session. And I think that really made you think outside of your sort of normal narrow views towards thing, and that I think was something that I've already used and has helped me immensely already. What makes this program different to others that I've attended? I think what makes this program different is the almost a forceful application. So once you're done with your module, you're given an assignment where you get to better understand what you've actually learned, and over and above that, it's practical application of it. So when you go back to the workplace, it's trying to apply what you've learned, and I think that is what made the difference. I'm now consciously applying what I learned, whereas in the past, you go to a training and then you forget about it the next day. So the conscious application of what you learned is what made the biggest difference of them all. I think if I need to think about something else that made the difference, it's just a wide variety of things within the business world. Very often we find in the organizations that we are, they specifically concentrate around what affects your industry, your business, but this module just gave you a better understanding of the business world and how it works. Feedback on how to better the program. I think it was an excellent program given the time restrictions. I did feel that the project syndication work, etc., did weigh heavily on sort of the final mark, and as well as the program. While I can understand that it helps us in our team dynamics and working and understanding other people, I just felt that also sometimes just stretched us a little more, and perhaps that could perhaps be made a bit less, or we could do our presentations earlier, etc. I think that for me was one of the things that constantly, almost want to say, pushed us to our limits. That's it.
My name is Fanam Konazi. I'm currently a senior audit manager at Sizwe Nsaluba Gobodo, the newly merged firm. Which module did I learn the most? It's the relationship intelligence. That module particularly triggered a lot of things about me. It made me conscious of what I'm emotional about, and when to put my emotion aside, and when to become practical and realistic in my decision making. And that actually became a practical process for me in my day-to-day activities, be it at work or at home or even outside work. I now consciously become aware of myself and my emotions. And what makes this program more different to the others, what I found very interesting about the program is that, one, it is very practical. Two, it is enforcing learning by making us actually understand that if we don't do it in our daily activities, we're not going to reap any benefit. But also, more importantly, there's been a constant trigger to say we should constantly make a decision to make use of the information rather than to put it on the table or on the cupboard or being passive about it. And I think when I took the conscious decision to also practically work on everything I've learned, I've seen a lot of results in myself, at work, and any other aspect of my life. And I think that's what is more different than any other course. And also the lecturers, they were very much amazing. They were practical, they were realistic, they were stretching us as well at the same time. And now, feedback on how to better the program. I'll say at this stage, I was fairly happy with what has happened. Perhaps maybe many people are not aware about it. The few that knows are the ones that are going to spread the word. But in terms of the contact, the details, the lecturers, they were all amazing. I personally am fairly happy. Yes, there was a time issue when to pitch in for it, but nevertheless, the time that we were given, I believe at our level, was adequate for us to juggle around issues and make sure that we achieve the intended goal. Thank you very much. Sure.
I am Oratile Mutudi from Sizwe Nsaluba Gobodo. I'm an audit manager there. Which module you learned the most from? I think it would be unfair to pick one module and say I learned the most from that module. Generally, each study school had its own specific learnings, which I practically applied, but the three ones which stand out the most for me were the relationship intelligence, which I was able to apply to myself to obtain a greater understanding of myself, and secondly, to obtain a greater understanding of my teams and the dynamics at play in my teams. Project management, which has been very effective in my daily life in managing my audits and managing my life. And the innovation module. what makes this program different to others that